Now, it's no secret that almost every single one of my videos is taking inspiration from something pre-existing. A lot of the episodes in MKA were homages of sorts to movies and shows that I was into. By the end of 2020, I was getting really into the Batman movies, for some reason. More specifically, the ones made by Joel Schumacher. They're honestly more guilty pleasures. I know they're campy and pretty stupid nowadays, but something about how dumb and exaggerated it is kind of why I like it so much. There's something charming about them in a weird rubber nipple kind of way. So one day I was watching one of these movies and I thought, you know what? I want to make something like that. If you notice, a lot of the other episodes are set in somewhat reality. Marty isn't fighting bad guys or shooting lasers from his crotch. Now, don't get me wrong, I like creating stories where people can relate to the characters, but I really wanted to try something new this time. Part of the reason why I don't make big videos like this is because I simply don't know how to do a fight scene. It's just easier for me to do smaller scale stuff. But yeah, this episode was pretty much inspired by these two movies.
Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman.
Whenever I go into making a full-on episode, I have to plan them out first, with scripting, storyboards, voice recording, all that stuff. But this episode was 10 times harder because all of the effects, action scenes, lighting, miniature sets, and props were just really hard to make. Not to mention the insane amount of characters included. This episode was almost scrapped just because I didn't think I could pull it off. This might have been the first episode that I did without really using a script. In the episode, the characters don't really speak. I just used their voice audio from the video games.
Hello, it's me, Mario. Woohoo!
And since this was more visual based with the fights and action, the storyboards were my main planning source for this one. So I did more drawing than I did writing. The only scene that I ever really scripted was the ending bit with Marty. This video was originally going to take place entirely in Bowser's castle, but I decided to switch it to Peach's castle, since the opening already kind of showed off Bowser's place. I felt like it would have been a little lame if the episode took place entirely in Bowser's castle. Now, I knew the exterior of Peach's castle would have to be featured in this episode. I really wanted to have some practical effects, so I decided to buy the toy Princess Peach castle. And yes, I know, I messed up with the stickers and I still can't get over that. Jesus Christ, every time I see that shot, I just want to... Oh yeah, and the clown cars. I was originally going to make the clown cars out of pumpkin baskets and spray paint them white, and I actually did. But it kind of came out looking really bad and not exactly what I was looking for. So I decided to go with a coffee container and apply white fabric and green over it. Then I just drew on the eyes and mouth with some construction paper. As for the sets, they were a huge headache. Bowser's castle was pretty easy to make since it was just simply a gray brick wall. Just grab some whiteboards and put some wallpaper on them and you're done. Unfortunately, Peach's castle was a different story. I really wanted to try my best to recreate the version you'd see from Super Mario 64. I even drew some of the paintings found in the game. It was really difficult making that set, and I had a hard time mapping it out. It was insane. My room was a huge mess during the planning phase. I was going crazy. One of the hardest things to do was making those damn red stairs. I used some whiteboards, and with the help of some other family members, we cut up the boards and super glued them together to make a shape of a stair. I was planning on spray painting them to get the red color, but I decided to instead super glue red fabric on them. I actually had some spare Mario and Luigi stunt doubles that were just laying around not being used. And since this video was meant to be an alternate version of Marty and his brother, I figured it was the right time to finally use these guys. I even had some custom overalls and shirts made for them. With the characters looking video game accurate and the sets being built, I was ready for the grueling filming process.
Nice outfit.
This was filmed during the early summer, so around May of 2021. From what I remember, I did a majority of the filming in my really messy room. A common theme when filming videos is that my room will get progressively messier and messier. The temperature was also getting really hot around the time of year, and being in a stuffed messy room with a bunch of warm red lights certainly didn't make matters any better. I should probably mention that I had absolutely no idea what I was doing when I was filming this. I wasn't used to doing fight scenes and stuff, so it was really tough. I would spend hours filming action sequences that I wasn't even sure were gonna work or even look good. I just had to hope and pray that everything would come together nicely. Luckily, I didn't have to film outside too much. I did have to film Peach's castle at the park and a few exterior shots, but they were pretty easy for the most part. You would think editing would be interesting for a video like this, especially considering how much is in this video visually speaking. Well, sorry to disappoint you, but I think the planning phase was much more grueling than editing. Editing was actually not a very difficult process. I mean, I already knew how to add in a bunch of the effects, and considering that I tried to do as much as I could in camera, all I needed to do was color grade, add a few fire effects, and I was good. One annoying thing that kept happening, however, was that my computer was running out of memory. I had filmed so much footage that my hard drive was on its last legs. I barely rendered this video out. I was seriously grasping at straws towards the end, deleting as much as I could off of my computer. It was barely enough. I was seriously afraid that I would not be able to make it through. I had to delete every single bit of footage that I wasn't using, leaving me with the bare minimum. Luckily, I deleted enough to the point where I could continue working. And after a week of isolating myself in my room, editing all day and night, the episode was finally complete. But yeah, that's the basic summary of how I made this episode. This video was insane. I remember I was really terrified when I was making this. I remember waking up in the morning looking at storyboards and thinking, oh god, what did I just sign in on? I also still had school during this time, which didn't make matters any better. I was under a ton of stress when I was making this episode. It didn't leave me with a ton of free time, and I was tired every single day when working on it. But you know what? I got it uploaded. Looking back, I'm glad that I tried something new, and I stepped out of my comfort zone for once.